Stoichiometry. Stoichiometry is derived from two words, stoichion and metron. Stoichion means element and metron means measure. So stoichiometry means the calculations of masses or volumes of reactants or products in a chemical reaction. Okay. Stoichiometry means calculation of masses or volumes of reactants and products in a chemical reaction. Okay. Let us take one example. Chemical reaction. A balanced chemical reaction is taken. For example, 2H2 plus O2 gives 2H2. This reaction, this is a stoichiometric equation. Okay. Here, this 2, that is coefficients of these reactants and products represents the stoichiometric coefficients. These are called as stoichiometric coefficients. So, from this equation, from this reaction, we can easily calculate the masses of different reactants and the products. Okay, here 2 moles of hydrogen reacts with 1 mole of oxygen gives 2 moles of water. Okay, now what will be the mass of hydrogen taken? That is 2 moles of hydrogen. One hydrogen molecule contains 2 gram of mass. The mass is 2 gram. Okay, so 2 moles means 4 gram of hydrogen is taken, and in the case of oxygen, the mass is oxygen molecule mass is 32 gram. So 4 gram reacts with 32 gram gives the molar mass of water is 18. So 2 into 18, that's equal to 36 gram. Okay, so 4 gram of H2, that is hydrogen molecule, reacts with oxygen and form 2 moles, the 2 molecules of water, that is 36 gram of mass is oxygen. So from this equation we can easily calculate the masses of the this reaction, that is the stoichiometric reaction. The masses can be calculated like this. Such equations are called as stoichiometric equations, and the calculation done using this stoichiometric equation are called as stoichiometric calculations. Okay. Take another example. How can you calculate the amount of water produced? Calculate the amount of water produced during the combustion of 16 gram methane. Okay, H2 gas produced during the combustion of 16 gram methane. Okay, first we have to write the balanced equation, that is stoichiometric equation, that is CH4 plus 2O2 gives 2H2O plus CO2. So 1 mole of methane reacts with 2 moles of oxygen gives 2 moles of water and 1 mole of carbon dioxide. So now we can calculate the masses of methane, oxygen and water produced. Okay, CH4, the molar mass of CH4 is 16 gram. Okay, here oxygen it is 32, so 2 into 32. Here water it is 2 into the molar mass is 18 plus carbon dioxide 44. So 16 gram reacts with 64, 2 into 32 is 64 gram of oxygen gives 36 gram of water and 44 gram of carbon dioxide. Okay, so we can calculate the mass of the products and the reactant using this stoichiometric equation. Okay, so the question is calculate the amount of H2O produced, that is 16 gram CH4 combustion gives 36 gram of water. Okay, like this we can calculate the masses. Limiting reagent. In many reactions, reactants may not be present exactly the same amount as required by the balanced equation. Okay, sometimes reactants may be in excess as required, and that will be left over after completion. So the amount of this product is determined by amount of the product obtained is determined by the reactant which is completely consumed. Okay, reactant which is completely consumed. Okay, this reactant is called as the limiting reagent. So what is limiting reagent? The reactant which is completely consumed in the reaction, which is completely consumed in the reaction containing two or more. Okay, the reaction containing two or more reactants. More reactants is called as limiting reagent. It's called as limiting reagent. Okay. Now let us do some stoichiometric calculations involving this limiting reagent. Okay. So one calculation based on the limiting reagent. We have to calculate we have to find which one is the limiting reagent. 1.5 gram of hydrogen react with 14.5 gram of oxygen and form water. Okay. First we have to write the balanced equation. 2H2 plus O2 gives 2H2O. 2 moles of hydrogen reacts with 1 mole of oxygen gives 2 moles of water. So 2 moles gives 2 moles of water. So here given 1.5 gram of hydrogen will be how many moles? Given mass by molar mass. Molar mass of hydrogen is 2. That is equal to 0.75 mole. Okay. So 2 moles gives 1 mole of oxygen. So 0.75 mole gives how many moles of oxygen? 0.75 mole requires 0.75 by 2. Okay. Because 2 moles requires 1 mole. So 0.75 mole requires 0.75 by 2 moles of oxygen. Mole oxygen. This is equal to 0.375 mole. Okay. Actually, in the question it is given 14.5 gram of oxygen to form water. So 14.5 gram of oxygen will be equal to given mass 14.5 by 32. This actually the value is 0.453 mole. Okay. So see the difference. Here we only 0.375 is required, but in the question it is given 0.453. So we can see that oxygen is in excess. So the limiting reagent is hydrogen. Limiting reagent is hydrogen. Okay. Like this we can calculate we can find which one is the limiting reagent. Okay.